And Dick, what do you want to do in terms of changing the world?
As king of the world?
Yes, a king. Well, you know I call you King Richard,
Yes,
so
great.
go for it.
Well, I would love to have dictatorial power over hospitals for about a month and change some very fundamental things. Just as examples off the top of my head, to me the most important person in a hospital is the very first person you meet. And if you think about who is the first person you meet, sometimes it's nobody. And if it is somebody, it's often an elderly lady sitting at a desk.
Or a man.
Or a man, but at any rate, looking at papers or shuffling them or something like that. Will respond if you approach them with a question, but otherwise doesn't open with a word of welcome and a smile. I would insist that every hospital telephone operator not be allowed to answer the phone unless they are first smiling, because that changes the entire tone of your voice. I think that there's a lot of human relations that needs to change in the hospital setting. It probably needs to change a lot of other places, but that happens to be the setting I'm most familiar with. And I think the dress question comes into medicine and nursing have become far too informal. Uniforms have been abandoned, and that's a great mistake because nobody can tell who anyone is or what they do. Even if they wear name tags, the writing is so small that one has to peer at women's bosoms in an unseemly manner to make an attempt, unless you've got absolute 20/20 vision, to know who the hell you're talking to. And these are little details. You know, I've been very impressed. I know Liz has been to the Mayo Clinic, and they have, as we were talking earlier tonight, a culture. The culture involves a lot of very simple things, like when you approach a nursing station, people stand up to greet you. And if you're going from A to B, somebody takes you from A to B. And there's a whole culture of human relations that is developed in a way that we need to pay attention to. One of the bad sides of universal health care, particularly in a place like Halifax, where many of us have a kind of, when I say many of us, our institutions have a monopoly. So they feel they have nobody to compete with. This is one of the things one sees differently in the United States. Not that I'm suggesting for a moment that we go anywhere near their system of healthcare. I've experienced that, and when you go to see a doctor or a hospital or whatever, the first procedure they do on you is the wallet biopsy. And you don't get any attention until they know where the money's coming from. However, there are many things that have to change, and that we don't change simply because we know that the patients have no alternative but to come to our hospital or whatever. So those are some of the things I'd like to get a grip on in a dictatorial manner.
Well, some of you in the audience know that Chester's hoping to build a health center, so hopefully we can get you down to tell us how to do it right.
Have your people call my people.
You know, there's lots of sense that as you're aging, you start to lose abilities, and it strikes me that the two of you are losing none, by the way. So I'm going to flip the question first of all and say, are there any advantages of getting older?
Well, you can express yourself more freely. As tonight, for instance. You know, you can say outrageous things which you wouldn't dare say when you were getting a paycheck. So that's an advantage. You can philosophize. You can tell other people how they should be doing their job, something that some of us enjoy doing. And I'd say those are the main things.
And Ruth?
Well, I think there are some advantages growing old. We're going to our 66th wedding anniversary this summer. We had a big one last summer, the 65th, and I was all excited about this, and Dick was too, and then I heard somebody ask him, what's it like to be married 65 years? And I was listening with hope, and he said, imagine 65 years in love with the same woman. If my wife finds out, she'll kill me. It's a beautiful romantic response. And then he said, somebody said to him, there must be a secret. You've got a great marriage. What's your secret? And he said, well, that's easy to tell you, with a beatific look on his face. And he said, we go out to dinner twice a week. Ruth goes on Tuesday and I go on Thursday. We've had 65, almost 66 years, great years. And no, I think growing old, every day there's a surprise. And some people in the nobody is as old as I am in the audience tonight, I could guarantee it.
Well, we can have a birthday lineup later.
Yeah. But every day you wake up as an older person and there's something new going on with your body. It's really very exciting. Surprising, yeah. So if you look at it that way, every day is a wonderful surprise.